Computing v. Skeptics. Plaintiff, you may make your opening argument.
May it please the court, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here today to discuss cloud computing. The opposing counsel will lead you to believe that cloud computing is not beneficial technology to utilize in the business world due to security issues. However, we believe otherwise. Cloud computing has a number of benefits, and to prove this, I will have two expert witnesses provide testimony.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today opposing counsel is going to try and convince you that cloud computing is safe and wonderful new technology. But I am here to prove that cloud computing is not safe, and I will provide witnesses who will give expert testimony regarding this issue.
Counselor, you may call your first witness.
Your Honor, I would like to call expert cloud computing witness Christy Kabovi to the stand.
Do you swear to tell me the truth, so help me God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Christy, would you be kind enough to give us a brief overview of cloud computing?
Yes, definitely. Cloud computing entered the world of IT in the early 2000s, but in fact it wasn't implemented until much later. There's actual little consensus on what exactly the definition of cloud computing is, but I'll try and give you just a basic definition. Cloud computing is a large-scale distributed computing paradigm that is derived by economies of scale, in which a pool of abstracted, virtualized, dynamically scalpable, managed computing power, storage, platforms, and services are delivered on demand to external customers over the internet.
Excuse me, can you put that in simpler terms?
Yes, of course. More simply put, cloud computing allows multiple people and computers to access the same data, without having multiple copies of that same software and without wasting valuable resources.
Okay, well, can you explain what the different types of clouds are?
Yes, there are actually 4 different kinds: private, public, community, and hybrid. And I'll just explain what those are really briefly. A private cloud is for one particular organization. A public cloud allows access to the public or big corporations. And then there's a hybrid cloud, which is a combination of private, community, or public cloud. And this cloud configuration allows each component to remain unique and binds them together to allow portable data.
Okay, so is there different ways to compute using the cloud?
Why, yes, there is. There's 3. It's software as a service, or SaaS, platform as a service, PaaS, or infrastructure as a service, and there's just no clever way to say that one. SaaS computing is the most common form of cloud computing, and it provides the same functions as traditional applications with little code running on the user's end, and the applications are refined to fulfill specific functions. PaaS, which is platform as a service, utilizes servers to create new applications or run current ones without concerning about the maintenance of the operating systems, hardware, or computing capacity. And then finally, infrastructure as a service is an on-demand utility computing capability which customers can configure and manage themselves. It is designed to adjust the functions of an entire data center. However, it doesn't reduce the cost of configuration, integration, or management, and these must be performed remotely.
Okay, thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
Counselor, you may cross-examine the witness.
Christy, can businesses benefit from using cloud computing?
Well, yes, they can. There is a general thought that cloud computing may only be geared towards businesses dealing with technology. However, that could not be farther from the truth. In fact, many businesses and IT executives report that cloud computing is a viable technology option that can improve any company's bottom line results, according to a new global survey that was conducted by an independent marketing research firm.
Well, research says that there are security issues with cloud computing. What are your thoughts in that matter?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. I'll allow the question. Continue, Counselor.
Research says that there are security issues with cloud computing. What are your thoughts in that matter?
Cloud computing is seen as more vulnerable to emerging online attacks. than the alternative to having your data stored on your company's private servers.
Thank you, Kirsty. That's all for now.
Chrissy, can you mention some of the benefits of cloud computing for me?
Yes, of course. Today, many companies are utilizing cloud computing to reduce their IT costs, save more time, store information, maintain a competitive advantage over their competition, web hosting and product management, and last but not least, web analytics.
We would like to call our next witness, Your Honor, Stephen Augustine.
Do you swear to say the truth or so help me God?
Yes, I do.
You may be seated.
Mr. Augustine, since you're such a strong proponent of businesses migrating to the cloud, tell the court why a business may want to adapt cloud computing and how will it benefit them?
There are many benefits and advantages to adapting a cloud-based computing system. One is that the company saves money. Another is the real-time accessibility of data for companies with multiple and international locations. And it also increases the effectiveness and speed of network operation since it's not overloaded with information. Let me give you an example. The JU Library recently in August switched to a cloud-based computer system. And since they've done that, they went from paying $100,000 a year for maintaining their database to just $5,000 monthly maintenance fee with a cloud computing company.
Well, given that a firm does store its data in the cloud, what specifically should it consider before doing so?
First of all, the need has to exist. Then security measures must be taken to prevent unauthorized personnel to breach the system. Disaster recovery is also paramount, and equally important. Is backup. To borrow a phrase from Dr. Baker. You cannot keep all your files in one cloud database. Businesses have to diversify the locations of valuable information. That is very important.
In the interest of the business, what specific recommendations do you have before and during its implementation?
This is probably the most important business component of switching to cloud computing. Businesses and the software engineers must keep the end user in mind. The user or the employee must be able to effectively use and manage the system. Otherwise, you've just wasted valuable company money, and the engineer should be fired if they do that.
That is all, Your Honor.
Counselor, you may cross-examine the witness.
So, do you believe there's anything to worry about cloud computing?
I wouldn't say worry. There are obvious concerns. Security, of course, is the main concern. But like any other system, for anyone to basic security measures are authorization, identification, and authentication. For someone to get into anybody else's system, number one, they have to be authorized. The system will ask them to identify themselves, and three, the system is also going to ask them to authenticate the two things I just mentioned. So, to say worry is not a word per se; is more of a concern. But let me assure you that cloud computing is very, very safe.
You may step down. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I've listened to the positions presented today, and both parties have made strong arguments. After considering the evidence before me, I must find in favor of the plaintiff. Cloud computing is cost-effective, efficient, and gives businesses a competitive edge. It is so ordered.